How's it going, everyone? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it has been almost over a month since I have posted a video, and I am so sorry. I have been so busy. If you don't know, I was accepted into Vanguard University on an academic scholarship of $7,000, which is very exciting. I've been at OCC for the past 3 years. I'm just so excited to be going to a new school, and just being accepted into it was the best news I ever heard. And I've been in the process of getting all the information about it, so I've just been really busy. And also, finishing up this school year has been a very hectic time for me. But I have still been reading, not much, but I have still been reading during this entire thing that's going on. So I'm just coming to you with a wrap up slash update of what's going on with me right now. So we're gonna go way back into late November, December area. I was in the biggest reading slump in the beginning of the school year, and it's just been really hard for me to get into reading lately. I only read when I'm at school, so I don't know what's going on with me. I had just been getting into reading outside of class, so I'm getting back into the mainstream reading thing that I always loved. So I'm just gonna come with you with the first book that I finished. I finished this at the end of December, early January. I started it in November and it just took me really long to read. I don't know why. It was a fantastic book. And that book is Winter by Marissa Meyer. And I finished this on a drive up and down from Sacramento with the youth group that I chaperoned their trip to. And I very much enjoyed this book. It was the best finale of a series I have ever read, and it was just wonderful. It was very delicate with this book because it may not look that long, but it is over 600 pages. The pages are very thin for a book, which was very surprising, and I kept like turning 2 pages at a time, and I was getting like, wait, what? This is confusing. What's going on? Oh, I skipped a page. But I listened to the audiobook for this book. This series, I listened to each of the audiobooks, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the narrator who did it, and it was really easy to just fall into this world, and I loved it. I bought the novella bind ups Stars Above, and I can't wait to get into that. I still need to read that one and Fairest, so I will be getting into those hopefully soon. I have a lot of books I need to read right now. This is the first book that I finished. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Fantastic. If you have not read the Lunar Chronicles series yet, you must. It is the best thing ever. If you like fairy tales, if you like sci-fi, then you'll love it, because I love fairy tales, and it also has like a Star Wars-esque vibe to it, especially this one, and it was fantastic. The next book that I finished in January, I read this one quite fast. I think I read it in a week, and that was The Boy Most Likely To by Huntley Fitzpatrick. If you read her book My Life Next Door, then you will be familiar with the characters in this one because it is a companion to it. So we are looking at the point of views of Alice, Jace's sister, and Tim, who is I think her name's Samantha from the first book, one of her older best friends, and it didn't really live up to what I thought it would be. I didn't like this plot that they had in it, so it was okay. Like, it was interesting to read, but like, I didn't really like the characters that were in it. So I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. If you did read My Life Next Door, then I would read it. It's a good one. You get to see where the characters from that book are at and their relationship, and it's pretty interesting. So I would recommend it if you have read the book that this is a companion to. The next book that I read, which I am so happy that I actually read this book. I was not going to read it for the longest time. I told myself I wasn't going to read it. I bought it just so I had it in my collection because I love her books, but I wasn't going to read it until everyone was talking about it, everyone was loving it, so I was like, fine, I'll read it. And that is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Oh my gosh, I am so mad at myself that I took so long to wait to read this book. I wasn't gonna read it because I was like, fan fiction, and I didn't really enjoy the Carry On snippets in her other book, Fangirl, so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not. But I was totally wrong. This book was fantastic. I laughed throughout the entire thing. I swooned whenever any romantic things came up. I loved it so much. I'm obsessed with Simon and Baz. If you don't know what it's about, if you don't know anything about it, this is basically kind of a fan fiction to Rainbow's very own book, Fangirl. She took the made-up world of Simon Snow from her book Fangirl and came up with her own version of the story between the two main characters of that book series, Simon and Baz. And this is basically kind of a Harry Potter parody, which just makes it even better because I love Harry Potter. But it's so good. Even if it's a Harry Potter parody, it's still its own thing, and I love it so much. If you like reading Rainbow Rowell, and if you like Harry Potter, this is basically the perfect, like, mash of the two. It's just fantastic. 5 out of 5 stars. Go read it if you haven't read Carry On. I plan to do a separate review of this hopefully soon. I've written down notes for it, so I do want to do a review. So look forward to that soon. The next book that I finished, I'm so happy I finished this because I've been wanting to read it since the very second it came out. It just, life got in the way. I was reading other books at that time, so I put it aside. And that is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. I love anything Rick Riordan has written. I haven't read his Egyptian mythology series, the Kane Chronicles. It's not really something I'm interested in. I've never been interested in Egyptian mythology, but I don't know anything about Norse mythology, and that just intrigued me so much reading this book. I learned so much. I never knew anything about this stuff before. All I knew was Thor and Odin and Loki, and I hadn't even watched or paid attention to the Thor movies have been out. I haven't even seen the second one yet. And I really enjoyed it. It was so funny. I laughed every time I turned a page. The chapter titles were such a heartwarming thing to come back to in a Rick Riordan book. I loved all the chapter titles. I got a friend of mine to start reading this book, and he's enjoying it. He just started laughing when I was telling him the chapter titles, and he's like, I have to see this book. I have to read it. And now he is reading it, and I'm loving it. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh, what part are you at? What part are you at? So good. If you don't know about this book, I'm not going to really tell you about it because it's really good to just go in blind. I didn't know anything about this book, and that was the best part of it, just figuring out what the heck was going on and all the craziness that ensues. I will tell you this, if you're a fan of the Percy Jackson series, there is a cameo of Annabeth in this book because Annabeth is Magnus's cousin, so you do see her in this book a little bit, and that really excited me so much. So I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars, obviously. Rick Riordan is my man. We all call him Uncle Rick up here in the fandom, so thank you, Uncle Rick, for giving us another fantastic book. I cannot wait for your Apollo series. So excited about that. And the last book that I finished, I finally finished it. I didn't get to read it immediately when I bought it because I was in the middle of Magnus Chase, but the book that I finished last week, I just blew right through it, was Lady Midnight, the first book in the Dark Artifice series by Cassandra Clare. Oh my god, this book was fantastic. The best first book in a series that Cassandra has ever written. Look at that. Look, I finished this in a week. I'm so proud of myself. I finished this in a week. I wanted to make it last longer, but I couldn't. I had to finish it. It was so good. I'm in love with Julian. I'm in love with Emma. I'm in love with the Blackthorn children. They're just fantastic. My new favorite Shadowhunter character is definitely Tiberius, one of the two twins of the Blackthorn children. He's just, he's a gentle soul. I love him so much, and he's so smart. I love him so much. I love everything. This was also funny. You see her funny, sarcastic dialogue that she always has, and it's just it's perfect. I cannot wait for the second book, Lord of Shadows. I need it now. That ending, I can't wait. That ending was just like, why did you end it there? Why? But yes, so all that rambling, 5 out of 5 stars. If you haven't read Lady Midnight and you have read all her other books, you must read it. If you haven't read all her other books, you need to read those books before you read Lady Midnight, because unlike the other ones where you are following a main character who is very new to the world of Shadowhunters, Emma, our main character, she already knows everything about it, so we're not learning as we go along like we are with Tessa or with Clary. We're just put right in there, and that's one of the things I loved about this book. So that was fantastic. Go read it. And that is all that I read for the past few months. It's not much, but you know what? I'm proud of myself for reading that many books, considering I'm not really in the biggest reading mood lately. The book I'm reading right now, I will tell you, is Lady Renegades, the third and final book in the Rebel Belle series by Rachel Hawkins. This is just the book jacket right now, and look at this cover. It's hideous. I don't like it at all. It's just, what are you thinking? The Rebel Belle covers, I don't know what's happening. The first book was really great. I loved that cover. The cover it fit the story really well, and it was beautiful and not ugly. Second book was like, it's okay. The trophy on the front was like, kind of cheesy and stuff like that. This, what happened? It looks like one of those chick lit cover books that are just tacky. And I'm like, I'm not reading this in public. I took it off. It's just, ugh. Why? Also, the book is tiny. It's less than 300 pages, and I'm already disappointed in the story so far. There's basically no plot in it at all. So I'll probably have a ranty review of that when I'm finished, most likely. So that is all I have for you guys today. I will definitely be doing more things soon. Like, I really want to do that Hamilton book tag. Like all the other booktubers, I have become obsessed with the play Hamilton. I heard about it back in September when I took a drama class in school, and I've been like listening to it on and off ever since then, but in the past few weeks I've been listening to it all the way through. I have the album. I listen to it in the car all the time when I'm driving places, sing it at work, and the kids are like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm teaching you US history. That's what I'm doing. It's fantastic. I love it. If you haven't listened to Hamilton, go listen to it. Wonderful. Lin-Manuel Miranda, genius. So I will be doing the Hamilton book tag sometime soon because I need to get that out of my system. So, yes. If you don't follow me on any of my social media sites yet, go ahead and do that. I will link everything down below. And I will see you guys again with another video hopefully soon. I promise I won't take as long as I did for this one. So have a great day, guys, and keep reading. Bye. Look at this shelf, guys. Look. It's broken. It's been broken for the past month, and it's bugging me so much. I really need a new shelf.